Greetings, loved ones. This message is powered by neuromelanin. In the words of the late, great Dick Gregory, when the universe pick you and you put on the magic glasses, there's rules to go with them. First, you can never take those glasses off. Second, you don't see things as you want them to be. You see things as they are. And third, you cannot force anybody else to wear those glasses. So I'd like to welcome you here today and thank you for hanging out with me for a couple minutes. I was just thinking when we were younger, and mostly the older group, because I don't notice it as much now with younger people, but I know when I was a little girl, and we would just play around the house or in the schoolyard or wherever we were, and we would like accidentally touch somebody, whether we were playing tag or maybe somebody was handing something to us and our hands would touch, all of a sudden sparks would fly. And I know that the older people can identify with me with that because it happened all day, every day. And we didn't really know why that happened. We just knew it did happen, but we didn't know why, And then all of a sudden, we just made it fun. We just made a game out of it. We would just rub our feet on the carpet or the floor, wherever we were, and then we would just deliberately touch somebody and see the sparks and the electricity fly, all over the place. And that was just some strange stuff back then, but it was fun. But the fact of the matter is, we had so much energy and light and electricity in our bodies back then. That's how that electricity came out, was when we actually, touched somebody else. I mean, our bodies was full of electricity. Sometimes, our dress would be stuck to our legs when we walk, or depending on where we was, our hair would just stick straight up, in the air. And I don't notice that anymore. So, is it me? Or, have y'all noticed that like in the last 25, 30 years? Because I sure haven't. But I think it might be due to back when we were younger, our food was fairly decent. You know what I'm saying? So it would allow for our energy and, and the light to come into our bodies. But I think as time went on and they started tainting the food supply, I think that's probably why it doesn't happen with the younger generation, because the food is so poison. And I have not noticed it with my grandkids. I haven't noticed it with my son, and he's 35. And I don't even remember him doing it, or we touching each other and sparks would fly. So I just started thinking that is really, really strange. But what I do know is because of the times that we are in, it's time for us to take care of this magnificent avatar that we're in, our bodies. There is none like it in the world, I'm going to tell you. And so our food supply is so poisoned now. We have to be extremely careful about what it is that we put in our bodies. And so I've made the decision back when I got on this journey, and not immediately. I probably was on the journey for maybe a year before I decided that I was going to become a vegan, because I did want my vessel, strong, because what's the point in, strengthening your mind, your soul, your spirit, and then you've got this garbage can for a body. So, and that's the thing about the upgrades that we were talking about the last time, the DNA upgrades and all of these things activating. It might activate, but it ain't going to work if everything is not in alignment. So if your other things, if your body is full of gunk, and your mind is full of junk and all of this other stuff, you know, it could be activated all day long, but it's not going to work. So, you know, there has to be some cohesiveness, and then there has to be, you know, things in alignment. So, so I made the decision to go ahead and become a vegan, and I did not just cut everything out right away. You know, I just did it gradually. You know, like, and I wasn't really, well, that's not true, because I was a steak and potatoes gal. So I'm not even gonna tell that lie. But I love steak and potatoes, and so what I did was I just started cutting out beef, you know, and then started cutting out the pork. And you know we love our pork, our ribs and bacon and all of that. And then I was just eating chicken for a while. And then eventually I just cut that out. So until I just cut it all out. I mean, no chicken, no fish, no shrimp, salmon, none of that, eggs, none of that. I just cut it all out. And it was a challenge to me because, you know, you'd be hungry. So you have to end up being creative about what it is you're going to eat. And when I tell you, when I finally started getting vegan recipes, when I tell you that food is out of this world. I mean, they have food that mimics chicken, foods that mimic fish. And so I really got into my kitchen probably 6 to 8 months ago, and rolled up my sleeves. And I said I was tired of going out buying stuff every day, trying to find something to eat. So I got them cookbooks, I got online. I started figuring out, you know, how to make, you know, the things that I really, really like burgers and things like that. So the information is out there, and there is no way in the world that I would put a drop of meat in my body at this point. So that's what I'm saying, is that you can just do it gradually. Make sure that you detox your body, get all those parasites out, because everything, just about everything we eat has parasites. And so so go online, see what it is you can put together to detox everything, and then cleanse your body, and then start eating clean. You know, our bodies was not built for that. I mean, you know, eating meat and flesh, dead flesh and all of that, because I remember just listening to some of the other vegans, and they said there is no way in the world that they would put some dead flesh in their body, because you putting dead flesh in your body, which means that inside of you is going to be dead to a certain extent. So not only that, meat is a very, very low vibrational food, very low vibrational, and it's acidic. And as a lot of acid in our bodies messes our bodies up. So, you know, that's 2 strikes right there, which is not good for our bodies. And the goal for us is, you know, to lift our frequency as high as we possibly can. So it would be foolish to do all that work to lift our vibrations and lift our frequency just to put low vibrational foods in there that would just drop it right back down. So it doesn't make sense. So challenge yourself to clean up your body, to eat. Our ancestors, they lived off the land. You know, I'm talking our ancient ancestors. I'm not talking about our mamas and grandmamas, because they had to eat whatever it is they could. You know, they were poor and struggling, so that's why they was eating them chitlins and them pigs' feet and ears and tails, because they had no other choice. But our ancient ancestors, when we lived off the land, we put, you know, electrical living foods in our bodies, because that's what our bodies required. Living foods, not dead foods, living foods. And that's why, you know, we lived for hundreds of years. I think they said Methuselah lived for like 900 years. But anyway, yeah, that's my message, is to clean up your bodies. You know, try to minimize the low vibrational foods that you eat until you can get completely off of it. And you would be pleasantly surprised at the vegan foods, the plant-based foods out here that mimics the real thing. And a lot of times you cannot tell the difference. I know I fried my daughter-in-law a fish sandwich, or at least, well, she knew that I was a vegan, so she knew that what she was getting was not fish. But she hummed and hawed over that fish, you know, and I fixed it up good, you know, lettuce, tomato, you know, the whole nine, onion, the whole 9 yard. And I mean, she loved it. So go ahead, treat yourself, start trying some plant-based recipes. Start planting or having your own garden if you can, because at least you'll know, you know, where your food is coming from. Because when I tell you the foods out here now are straight poison, it is straight poison. I bought some grapes the other day and I could see the parasites coming out of the grapes. They wasn't even on the inside. They was on the outside of the grapes. So what I'm telling y'all is, please, please, please be very careful about the stuff that you're putting in your bodies. Do not, the fast food places, Burger King, McDonald's, those are the worst. Wendy's, nah. Come on, y'all. When you know better, you do better. And now you know. Y'all know that that food ain't no good. Stop giving it to your children. You stop eating it. And just stay at home and start fixing your own, you know, soups, vegetables, put living foods in your bodies. So that is my message for today. Thank you guys for stopping by, and I'll see you next time. Bye.